Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a donut? Well, today we're going to find out with a very special donut named Arnie. He's not just any donut. He's chocolate covered with sprinkles and full of surprises. So grab your favorite treat, sit back, and let me tell you the story of Arnie the Doughnut. Arnie turned out to be just the kind of donut he'd hoped he'd be, chocolate-covered with bright-colored candy sprinkles. He had so many sprinkles, in fact, that he thought, "Look at all my sprinkles! There must be 1,000,000 of them." Well, actually, there were only 135, but he was far too happy to notice. Arnie was made very early one morning at the downtown bakery, home of the best donuts around. Arnie was proud to be one of the best. After all, the bakery was famous, and everyone in town came to buy donuts from here. Arnie knew it was no accident that he was one of the stars on the tray that morning. As Arnie sat there waiting to be chosen, he took a moment to reflect on his amazing journey. He had been made fresh that morning, and he couldn't help but remember all the steps that had brought him to this point. First, he was cut into a perfect ring. Then he was deep-fried in boiling grease. "I'm soaking in boiling grease, but I love it," he thought, savoring the warmth. Next came the cooling process, followed by a layer of smooth icing. "Who's that handsome donut?" he thought as he gazed at his perfectly iced surface. After that, he was sprinkled with care. A caution sign was even put up. Sprinkle area, must wear safety goggles. And then Arnie was named. "Whatever I'm named, I'm going to go by Cool Iced D," he decided, proud of his new title. As Arnie looked around at the other treats around him, he saw a variety of donuts. There was a cinnamon twist, donut holes, chocolate zebra, even a square donut. He tried to strike up a conversation with an apple fritter, but she didn't seem too interested. Maybe she's not a morning donut, Arnie thought, and gave her some space. But that didn't bother Arnie too much. It was 6 a.m., and the bakery had just opened. Customers were starting to flood in, eagerly picking their donuts. Arnie's excitement grew as he watched the customers come and go. Each person picked their favorite donut, placing it carefully into a paper bag. Some even bought donuts by the dozen. "Goodbye," Arnie called out to every donut that was whisked away. "Have a great trip." Arnie felt a wave of excitement rise within him. He wondered, who will choose me? I can't wait to see who I go home with. And then, just as Arnie was dreaming of his new life, he saw it. Someone pointing right at him. "Moi?" Arnie thought. Before he could say another word, he was carefully pulled off the tray and placed in a paper bag. As Arnie was driven to his new home, he was so excited. The ride was bumpy, but he felt secure, nestled in the soft napkin the baker had placed under him. "I've never been in a car before," Arnie thought. "I wonder what Mr. Bing's home is like." Finally, they arrived, and Mr. Bing carefully took Arnie from the bag and placed him on a clean, shiny plate. "What a handsome plate," Arnie said to himself. "I'm not crazy about the design, though. It could use a little paint, but it'll do." Mr. Bing smiled and said, "What a lovely donut." He gently lifted Arnie from the plate, and as Arnie relaxed in his hand, he couldn't help but think, "This is it. I'm finally going to meet my new owner." But then, something strange happened. Arnie felt himself being lifted higher and higher, and when he opened his eyes, he realized Mr. Bing was moving him straight toward his open mouth. "What are you doing?" Arnie shouted in shock. Mr. Bing was equally stunned. "I was gonna eat you," he said, clearly surprised by Arnie's outburst. "Eat me?" Arnie gasped. "Why would you do a thing like that? Do you eat all your guests?" Mr. Bing, embarrassed, quickly apologized. "Well, of course I eat donuts. That's what donuts are for. Eating." Arnie froze. He couldn't believe it. "Do you mean to tell me you've done this before?" Arnie asked. Mr. Bing sheepishly nodded. "Yes, I eat a donut every day," he confessed. Arnie's heart raced. He felt sick and frightened, but he was also angry. I must get out of here before he tries to eat me again, he thought. He had just realized something horrifying. My friends have probably all been eaten. Determined to stop this, Arnie quickly turned to Mr. Bing and asked in the sweetest voice, "Excuse me, sir, but may I use your telephone?" Mr. Bing, confused but accommodating, handed him the phone. What could hurt, he thought. Arnie quickly dialed the bakery's number. "Downtown Bakery, home of the best doughnuts, round," the baker answered. "Mr. Bakerman, it's me, Arnie the Doughnut. I was made by you this morning and bought by a man named Mr. Bing. He tried to eat me. You need to stop him." "Oh, Arnie, I thought you understood. Doughnuts are made to be eaten." Arnie couldn't believe what he was hearing. "Do the other doughnuts know about this?" he asked. "Of course they do," the baker replied. "We make them to be eaten. They know it." Arnie was crushed. He hung up the phone, feeling betrayed by his fellow doughnuts. "All right, then," he muttered to himself. "Let's get this over with." But Mr. Bing, realizing that Arnie wasn't just any doughnut, decided he wouldn't eat him after all. "I'm not going to eat you, Arnie," Mr. Bing said, his voice kind and sincere. Arnie sighed of relief. But Mr. Bing wasn't done yet. "Since I'm not going to eat you, we'll figure out what to do with you instead." Together, they came up with ridiculous ideas like using Arnie as a pincushion or a doorstop. But none of them seemed right. Finally, Mr. Bing had an idea. "I always wanted a dog, but they're not allowed here." "But no sign says no doughnuts allowed. Arnie, would you be my doughnut dog?" Arnie's eyes sparkled with joy. "A doughnut dog? I would love to!" From that moment on, Arnie and Mr. Bing were inseparable. Arnie loved being a doughnut dog more than he loved being a doughnut. He went through obedience school, became Mr. Bing's best friend, and had so much fun together. Arnie was the best pet Mr. Bing could have ever hoped for, and Arnie knew he had found his true purpose. Sometimes we just need to find a different way to be, and Arnie found his happily ever after. So the next time you have a doughnut, think about Arnie. Sometimes life can give you a twist, but with a little imagination, we can always find a new way to live and thrive. Thanks for watching, and remember, life is sweeter when you make the best out of every situation. Keep reading, keep watching, and keep eating.